we're seeing AI clips now of Wolverine and the Hulk fighting each other, and Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in an action sequence. And I mean, it's only getting better. And I
Mhm.
wonder, do you think, is it a threat to actors? Do you think it's like a ticking time bomb? Do you recommend people even still dream about being an actor? Like, what is your take on AI?
I don't, I've been thinking about this since we've been emailing. I don't, I try very hard to not get involved in it.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is, it is a thing. It's out there in the world and it's being used in all sorts of ways, shapes, or forms. Um, a big part of the last SAG strike was to deal with, performers' identity rights, which I can't believe I'm having to say out loud. Right? Like you're a person, you should be able to own your own identity. Um, the thing for me, once it started to get into this, like, like with the clips that you mentioned and stuff, all that made me want to do is just train and coach harder and just get better and just show people that, like, we've just spent the last hour basically talking about like authentic human experience,
Yeah.
and that's why we watch film and television. And I think if you are actually looking close enough, like, I've not seen the Wolverine one. I saw probably 10, 15 seconds of the Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise one. And it felt, I don't know, maybe because I knew what it was, but it felt soulless.
There is definitely a little uncanny valley in there still, a little bit of
Yeah.
something that just doesn't quite feel right, whether it's in the performance or the directing or whatever it may be. But
Hmm.
just seeing where it came from with Will Smith eating that spaghetti a couple of years ago to now, it's the rate at which it's getting better makes me pause a little bit and go, okay,
Mhm.
what is the sort of role of human beings going to be in
Mhm.
filmmaking moving forward, you know?
Ideally, I mean, I don't know. But ideally, it will continue to just press people to want to tell stories as openly and authentically as they can and be unafraid to share. Like look at even just the evolution of television in the last 5, 10 years. Right? You're having major film stars want to work in television now.
Yeah,
And like when we were growing up, like that was not,
it was the opposite.
you did not do that. What are
Yeah,
you, crazy? And I think there will always be technological advancements, right? Acting has gotten a lot more specific and a lot more like hyper fixated on authenticity and realism because cameras are so good, right? And you can trace all sorts of careers either ending or flourishing back to technological advances. Charlie Chaplin didn't make it out of the silent film era,
right.
right? So, and all of the ramifications, sociopolitically aside of my feelings of the use of AI and in the lack of permissions involved, and just the sheer vast amount of energy that it uses, is just this idea that if we want to tell real human stories at the end of the day, I don't think, and maybe this is me just kind of pie in the sky, but I'm going to continue to think this because it's my job too, and because I love what I do. I don't think you can fully replace actual human authenticity and experience.
I agree with you. And I think this has come up on the podcast before because I interview a lot of creatives. And I think
Mhm.
there's just something that, like, I would rather watch a movie with real humans in it.
Yeah.
And that cultural zeitgeist will change over time, but
Mhm.
that's certainly how I feel right now. And I think AI can be used as a tool to make things cheaper, to open filmmaking to more people because there are financial barriers in a lot of
Mhm.
cases. In the same way, an iPhone made it easier to film a short film.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that that's the direction that AI is going to go.
Mhm.
That would be my ideal.
And I think too, one of my fears with it is that it'll be used just to save money and cut people out of jobs,
It will definitely be used for that.
right? And
Yeah.
that's not, even. we talk about like film and television stuff, but and you've done it, right? Like animation, there's still a person behind that voice, and there is still a quality of. I mean, look, we're in this weird kind of crazy era of the most popular form of music media that people are buying now is vinyl again,
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
right? Because we've got all of our, you've got your subscription services, sure, and then you've got these people basically being like, okay, well now I have the subscription service, it's paying the artists nothing. Um, but also sonically on some level, there's a difference.
Yeah, not only that, but I think there's also sort of this reverting back to like physical stuff
Hmm.
again. It's like, Netflix, sure, you can watch anything on demand that you want, but then also if they decide to stop hosting your favorite movie, you just don't have it
It's
anymore,
gone. Yeah.
right? And so this idea of like owning records or owning DVDs again is starting to come back, I feel like.
I really think that the ultimate goal of storytelling is, it should be at least, human engagement, human association and interaction. And if we want to continue to make stories that people are interested in and want to engage with on any level, putting a bunch of slop at them is not gonna do it. Maybe it is. I don't know.
No, I'm with you. I agree. And we're probably biased because we're in the industry, and I'm sure there's some
Me,
guy
no,
who
never been biased in my life.
I'm sure there's some guy who's like, well, I just want to see Wolverine fight the Hulk more. I don't care if it's AI or not. But
Yeah.
and maybe that there is a place for that, and maybe there will be. But I think there's never going to be able to replace the human element of it. That's just my take.